Oh, Monday, I fell asleep while she was on the end of the couch. She would tend to huddle up so that
Stretch out.
I could
Yeah.
stretch out diagonally at least one leg, and I fell asleep. I woke up and my legs were out. She was still on the couch and her legs were, she
Yeah.
intertwined. She was like that, and again the camera was laying on the cat thing, so I just reached over and took a picture of that, and she looked up at me like she always did whenever I did anything, because her eyes followed me around the room. She watched everything I did. She would check it out. If I moved, she would look up, go, "Everything okay?" And I go, "Yeah, everything's fine." "All right." And then she'd lay down again. But I got that shot. That's going to be my favorite shot of all time. Is the legs.
Yeah.
The legs and the look. Oh man, you see the Foxy's last snow? Actually, I put it together that way because it works better visually. But
That's what I posted on Facebook.
the two shots actually occurred in the reverse order. She came in and she could only stay in for so long, and then the second shot is her after she went back out, was back on the porch again. And it just works better the other way visually,
Right.
but that's not the actual
Doesn't matter.
continuity. It says the truth that I was trying to express about her, the way I did it, and also it required it was like this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece go. It didn't require any great. Well, none of it does. It all comes from the goddess. It's all tapping into external sources. Everybody that is truly creative and really creative has figured out how to access some of this. And I wouldn't know how to do it if I hadn't lived with Foxy. Saint Foxy.
For 25 years, America's gangsters pour millions of dollars into building the lavish casino hotels.
So don't worry about me. I worry about you and Joe a lot more than than you guys should worry about me. My life is pretty cush, relatively speaking. And now I don't have any dogs to take care of. I got all these automatic built-in bumpers in my daily operation program that I have to switch to an active. I have to retune where are the dogs at all times in their physical presence to the dogs are with me at all times in their spiritual presence. And it's a transition, but I am doing it. I felt her. Peanut looked at her. Peanut looked at her. She went with us. I didn't have to open the door for her.
Sophie's been, for the last month, since 9 left, she will occasionally look at neither Joe nor I and bark. And it's her. Barf. Barf.
Yeah.
Barf. It's her. She's not angry, she's not warning or anything, it's just an acknowledgement bark. So they've all been stopping by as this time has gone on. I know that Sophie's been slipping in and out. Foxy may have been doing that too. She may have been ghost pack walking. And I think Sophie's always done it ever since Bear left. she will do that ghost pack disappearance, but it's not as for as long as she would. I mean, she has more dogs to greet now, and that's why she's gone longer. But she knew that Foxy was going.
I know. That
Because she was not that hostile towards Foxy when we were here in October.
No, she was more aloof, and
Right.
Foxy always yielded to her age.
Right.
Even if she wasn't clear. I'm pretty sure she knew it was her mother.
Right.
Those are
I
fucking
think
genius dogs.
I've always thought that they did, because I've always thought that Foxy could smell them on us when we would come out to Thistle Hill, and that was why she always greeted us like family instead of like strangers.
And it's not even an uncommon reaction among some humans. They find out, that they know that someone is going to die, so they don't want to get attached to them. They, in fact, are sometimes hostile and mean just as a way of protecting themselves. I've been dealing with a lot of the same stuff with Nikki, because her father only died 5 years ago, and
Yeah.
she thinks there's something wrong with her for not being able to get over it.
No,
And
that's not true. I hope she comes to realize that.
she will eventually, but she's also, she's convinced that if there were a way to contact her that he would, and the difficulty is she's trying to use the wrong part of her brain to sense that, but that'll work out for her. But the story had some very, very difficult pieces. It's like the day Ted's mother was buried. Yeah, he refused to go in and see her, and he seemed to be in a very, grouchy state. And they later figured out that that was at the moment in time where he was told he had 6 months to live, and he died like 6 months and 4 days later. But he didn't share that information right away. And when he did, it was, some exchange was going on between father and daughter, and father suddenly says, "I'm dying." And Nikki says, "We're all dying,"
Right.
And only later, so he was in her home minding her cats while she was out working, and couldn't get on hold of him on the phone for a couple of days. Got a friend to go over. The friend went over and said, he's blue.
Oh my God.
He'd been there for several days.
Oh my God.
And it took a while for Nikki, so her friend said, "I've called for an ambulance." He's going, "Well, can I talk to him?" He's blue.
He's gone.
He is no longer alive. And she's still able to find some humor in the story, and that's how we survive these things, is being able to find some humor in it.
Right.
Foxy was a pistol.
Yes.
She has a great sense of humor.
Like you, I've never known a dog to play a practical joke, but that was amazing with Nissa. it was the presence of the goddess of mirth,
incorporated herself into Foxy at that moment in time, and it was, you know, a beautiful moment that I will carry with me as long as I have consciousness. You know, it was just for me because she
We're the only one
loved
to see
me.
it.
I was the only one to see it, and she loved me so much. She loved me with every fiber of her being, every ounce of her self.
That was the way 9 was with Joe.
Yeah.
He liked me. He loved me.
Hey, he liked me.
Then he
Yeah.
liked you. And he loved you, but not the way he did Joe.
Oh yeah.
There
no.
was some other. We don't have enough words for love for the noun, the verb that was the love that those dogs had for you and for Joe. There is not a word that describes it. They loved everybody else. They were
Yes.
good dogs. They cared about other people. She loved me.
Yes.
You know, I could see that in her eyes yesterday when I said goodbye and didn't know I was saying goodbye to her.
It happens that way.
She looked at me and I hugged her and she gave me that same sound that Sophie gives me when I get Sophie gathered up. Sophie goes,
Uh-huh.
and she did the same thing.
Uh-huh.
But it was not anywhere near the kind of love that she had for you. And 9 was the same way. He loved to be loved by me. He loved to be snuggled and cuddled by me. But Joe, all he had to do was just lick Joe's foot. And the love, I don't know, he was trying so hard to heal Joe and he couldn't. And it finally killed him. And now Joe's foot's getting worse because he's not there to be taking the wound away.
We gotta do something about that. We'll have to figure out what to do about that. I mean, you gotta get Joe over here, and you know we'll do a super whammy on him. You know, we'll do a pure whammy on him. We'll do it. I cleaned this bong yesterday.
You did?
I cleaned this bong yesterday over at the sink. I decided it's grungy. I haven't used it for a while. I could use it. Well, let me clean it. So I'm over at the sink. I'm cleaning it, and I'm watching old Foxy on the couch. She got on the couch, and I went, "Oh, that's worth hitting the bong." I went, I got it clean. I got it loaded. Took a real good hit. Put it down. Maybe another one. Load a little. I loaded the second bowl. And Foxy leapt off the couch.
Oh, God.
At that moment. It was that fast.
Michael, the day that 9 died, I had gone to get my fucking hair cut. I missed. Michael, the day that 9 died, I had gone to get my fucking hair cut. I missed the last 30 minutes of his life because I went to get a haircut.
I know, baby. I am so sorry. You didn't know. There is no way you could know. But here's the beauty. Here's the beauty thing. If we had decided to go on to Walmart yesterday,
I know.
no one would have been here. and we'd have found her.
I know.
And she made sure that I came back. She made sure. She kept me on the straight and narrow all the time. You know, when you need to do something, Daddy, this is what you need to do. And,
We hadn't
you know,
been home 45 minutes when Don died.
he was probably waiting for you guys to leave. He knew it was going to be too rough for you guys to see. It was hard. It was hard.
Joe was there. He saw it. I miss these dogs.
I know.
I was so scared going home last night that I would go home and find Sophie gone. I was terrified.
No.
When I opened the door, she was sitting in my chair, and she lifted up her head and looked at me when I walked in the door. I was like, thank you, Sophie, for not going.
Has been working with the family of the escaped Anglin brothers to pursue fresh leads in the case, thanks to shocking new evidence introduced by the family members themselves.
Are you comfortable? You must be comfortable, or you wouldn't do it like that all the time.
In his possession, Roderick now holds the final results of all aspects of their current investigation. And he's in Leesburg, Georgia, to deliver the news in person.
What I'm getting ready to tell the family about what we found and the evidence that they gave me is going to move the needle on this case.
For the Anglin family, the potentially historic news the lawman is about to share is less about American history and more about their own personal history. Finding out what happened to 3 beloved family members.
You know, it's more than a TV show for us. This is personal. This is real life for us. I mean, we live this every single day.
Art, how you doing? How's it going?
Good. Good to see you. How you doing, buddy? Good.